Every time a new Indiana Jones movie comes out, the franchise gets a much-needed shot in the arm, including an influx of new, expanded content. I had been a big fan of the old Dark Horse Indiana Jones comic book, so I was really excited to see that Dark Horse were finally making new Indiana Jones comics at the time of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull's release. There hadn't been one for over 12 years at the time, and unfortunately this resurgence would only last a year or two before the well dried up once again. Dark Horse produced 3 indie products at the time: the adaptation of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the Indiana Jones Adventure series, which lasted just 2 issues, and a 4-issue mini-series, which will be our subject for today, Indiana Jones and the Tomb of the Gods. I had never revisited this series since finishing the last issue upon release, and I was delighted to find it a pretty good quality comic. The artwork and modern use of colors definitely made it one of the best looking Indiana Jones comics, and I think the writing is pretty good, with some good dialogue and fun Indiana Jones types of situations, and a few fan favorite characters from Raiders of the Lost Ark show up as well. One complaint I might make though is that, like most of the Marvel line from the 1980s, The Further Adventures of Indiana Jones, this adventure features a totally made-up MacGuffin rather than the clever, well-researched type of artifacts of the 1990s Dark Horse run, the golden age of Indiana Jones comics. Tonally, it's definitely closer to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in that it does have plenty of that classic indie adventure vibe, but does follow a direction which detractors of that film will find off-putting. It gets a soft recommend from me. You'll definitely have fun with it for the first 3 issues, if not all. But now I'm going to take you through the story, so beware of spoilers. So, in 1931, 3 archaeologists make a startling find in Siberia, a pre-ancient 3-part key. They each take a part of the key, guarding them so they never fall into the wrong hands. Skip ahead now to 1936. Indy has been invited to the New York penthouse home of one of these men, Henrik Melberg. But it turns out that the Nazis, led by Friedrich von Hassel, have shown up uninvited. Indy and Melberg make it to the roof, where they attempt to escape through an under-construction skyscraper. But Melberg is shot and falls to his death, though not before warning Indy that the Nazis already have one piece of the key and must not be allowed to get all 3. Indy is robbed of Melberg's key piece by an in-disguise mercenary treasure hunter known as Janis Leroux, who sells it to the Nazis. Desperate to prevent the Nazis from recovering the last piece, Indy and Marcus travel to Tibet to find its holder, Beresford Hope. But it turns out that Beresford Hope has died, though not before losing his mind in the same fashion as Dr. Oxley from Indy 4. And the artifact is now guarded by his son, Alex. And the 3 of them make a desperate escape from the natives with the help of Indy's pal Jock. To the displeasure of Marcus, Indy and Alex take a steamer without him to the Arctic Circle to beat the Nazis to the tomb where the 3 archaeologists had found the key. But the Nazis crash the party and leave Indy stranded in the middle of the ocean, along with Leroux, who they betray. The 2 of them fend off a pack of sharks and set fire to the boat to try and signal for help. There are good moments of bonding and attraction between them before their boat is decimated by a monstrous great white. Thankfully, Marcus shows up just in time to rescue them. Janice is initially locked up, but Indy later accepts her as an ally so that she can help them find where they're going. Team Indy and the Nazis engage in a dog sled race to find the tomb, but ultimately Indy and Janice are separated from the others and Marcus is captured. But both factions find their way to the tomb entrance, a very unusual and alien-looking place, and indeed it is revealed that this is the tomb of pre-ancient extraterrestrial gods. Alex is killed by von Hassel for not cooperating, but some of the Nazis are seduced by an alien voice in their heads and turn on the others. Indy steps in to save Marcus, and when the dust settles, only von Hassel and the good guys remain. Von Hassel opens the door, presumably unleashing its vague power, and reveals that he has sent the coordinates back to his comrades. He does the Renee Belloc thing of asserting that Indy is curious to know the secrets of this mystery, but Indy favors getting revenge for Alex's death, sending Von Hassel and a pack of explosives down the shaft of the tomb, sealing it off forever and leaving its mysteries forever in the dark. And that's pretty much where it ends. As I alluded to before, things get very Kingdom of the Crystal Skull-like in this 4th issue here. I think that might be a deal breaker for some people who didn't like certain things about that movie. The ending of the comic and the overall direction always felt a little cheap to me, kind of like watching a J.J. Abrams production where there's enough mystery and fun to keep you interested, but then in the end you find out that it was just mystery and fun with no substance. At the end of the day, it's a comic book, and I know a lot of times they just have to come up with something, but if you look at the work of Dark Horse in the Indiana Jones comics of the 90s, where each adventure was a well-researched story based on an actual artifact or myth, Tomb of the Gods pales in comparison. And it's especially frustrating that Dark Horse chose to go with this storyline when they had the storyline for the cancelled Indiana Jones and the Lost Horizons sitting on the shelf. But as I said before, the artwork is good, although there is a change in art style in the final issue here, and overall you're going to have a good time with the first 3 issues at least. I have heard some fans say that this is their favorite Indiana Jones comic, and I'm sure for the generation of fans who grew up with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, its ultimate direction won't seem as jarring. So do let me know your thoughts about Indiana Jones and the Tomb of the Gods down below. Thanks for watching my video, and I wish you all fortune and glory. Bye-bye now.